Hello there, my name is Michael Mansell, and this is the brand new Samsung Gear VR. This just showed up in the mail from Samsung, and I'm super excited to get it opened up and take a look at it, but I wanted to have you guys all with me when I did it. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the box. It's a really pretty box that it shows up in, very solid. Just a little bit of tape on either side there. And opening it up here. Oh, really nice case inside. It says Gear VR on there. Pull that out. Let's just set that to the side for a second. And let's see, I'm sure there's some extra stuff in here. Looks like we got a foam pad, could be a replacement. We'll find out when we get into the actual unit here, and then a getting started guide. So we've got those two items in there. Set those off to the side, and let's get back to the main event here. So let's get this opened up. Now this is designed for the Samsung Note 4, which I do have. This is my Samsung Note 4. Really liking this phone, especially for an Android device. It's doing really well. So I was definitely excited to be able to get shipped this unit. All right, so inside we have the actual headset unit. And looks like it's got a few additional straps here. This is going to be the head strap on the back, and it's got some film on the front there, and then looks like some volume buttons right there. Then you have your control pad right here, and a return button up there. So some side controls for navigating, and then on the side here we've got the Gear VR powered by Oculus there. So you can see all that. Really feels sturdy, well made. You can see the lens in here. They've got little plastic coverings on each one of the lens there, but really well made. And it does look like this is an extra pad, because this already has a pad in it, so they've sent an extra one with it. So if that one gets dirty or sweaty, you can certainly replace it out. And then on top here, we've got a volume button. And this is for the additional head strap that is going to fit in there. So that simply just fits in right like that, and then feeds through the back here and then straps in on the back. So I will get that all put together and be right back. The case here, it's a nice case, little pocket there probably for some additional headphones if you want to, and it does also include a 16, you can see that there, a 16 gigabyte micro SD card with an adapter. So that's also included inside of the case. Okay, so I installed the Note 4 into the Gear VR headset, and it came up with a prompt right away that said to remove the Note 4, which would automatically start installing the software needed on the Note 4 to interact with the Gear VR headset. So I followed the prompts on the Note 4, and it was a very smooth process. It's installing, looks like 6 different applications onto my Note 4 here. It is about 77 megabytes, so it is a decent amount of data that it's installing on your phone. And as you can see there, it is now finished downloading and has started the installation process onto my Note 4. So I just want to show you this process as it's proceeding, and I will be back to give you my review of the headset after I've gotten a chance to play around with it for a little bit. Okay, it's finished installing software. So I'm just going to proceed to continue, and selecting English as my language. And then it's asking me to create an account, which I don't currently have an account with Oculus because this is your Oculus account. And so I'm gonna have to create an account. So I will create the account, agree to those terms, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish this process and I'll be back. So after the registration process was complete, they send you a confirmation email to verify your email address, and once you've done that, it then automatically moves to this step where it asks if you want to install the Oculus Cinema, which is the theater app for the Gear VR. So it's just installing this application now. It says right there, installing Oculus Cinema. And as this process continues, this should be the last step for getting everything set up to use the Gear VR. It also looks like it's installing some additional clips and some trailers as well, which will be great, so I have something to sample with right away. Okay, after it finished installing the Oculus Theater software, it's actually instructing me to insert the included 16 gigabyte micro SD card into my Note 4 as instructed here on the screen. Apparently there's some additional clips and media on that SD card, micro SD card. Now I don't have an SD card or a micro SD card in my Note 4 already, so this will be simple to just insert it into my Note 4. But for those of you that already have a micro SD card in your Note 4, I'm sure you can transfer this content to your existing micro SD card, or you'll have to swap them out when you want to view this content. So I inserted the micro SD card into the phone. It does instruct you to be careful not to remove the battery. I assume this is so it doesn't interrupt the actual installation process. And I was able to do that, put the back cover back on, and then it hit the continue button, and then it does say that setup was successful. So now it's instructing me to put the Note 4 back into the Gear VR headset. So I will proceed to do that now. Okay, I've gotten a chance to test out the Samsung Gear VR, and all I can say is wow. The experience definitely far exceeded my expectations, first of all, and the comfort level on the face was very good as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you certainly do feel that you have a headset on your head, but once you have this on and you're experiencing the visual inside, you're completely transported to that world that you're experiencing, whether it's a movie trailer or an animated game scenario, or watching, you know, your own videos and stuff right off of your Note 4. You definitely feel immersed into that. It was actually a very interesting experience taking the headset off because you're so disoriented to the environment around you, and that's an example of how immersed you become in it. So very, very impressed with that. You certainly do see a little bit of pixelation from the screen of the Samsung Note 4. So in terms of super high definition, I think that screens are going to have to improve even more so that you don't see that minute pixelation. But I soon forgot about that. I mean, within minutes of wearing it and watching the various sample footage and trailers and clips and stuff that are built right in to it, I very quickly didn't even notice that anymore. But that's just kind of a note there that if you're looking for super high definition, it's really good quality, but I personally have a 4K TV at home, so you're not going to get that level of high definition, but you're certainly immersed into the visuals of it. So in terms of how the Note 4 goes in, you just remove this outer cap right here, and you can see the port right there, which is the micro USB port. This kind of just swivels right there, and you just pop this right into the port. You need to make sure that you push this into it. I made that mistake first, that I just kind of slid it in. If you don't push it all the way in, it's not going to actually register on the Note 4 that it's in. And then the other side here, you're simply going to push this down until it snaps. And so it's a really nice solid fit. Of course, it was made specifically for the Note 4, so it's a really nice fit. And then you can just pop this right back on top like that, and your Note 4 is inside there. And when you do that, it does activate the Note 4 to come on and walk you through the menu process. Of course, I can't really illustrate that here because you can't actually put the headset on, but I was very impressed at the quality of the menu system inside. So I think it's well worth. I mean, for $200 to get this unit and how immersive it is and how the software is actually way more developed than I anticipated it to be, I was extremely impressed at the experience. There's also an accessory gamepad that you can purchase to go along with this. For gaming, it's going to be phenomenal. But this was actually my first experience with anything virtual reality, any type of headset. So I was extremely impressed with the quality, and it certainly exceeded my expectations. So I think it's completely worth the $200 price tag, and looking forward to a lot more content coming out to be used in the Samsung Gear VR. So just a couple more points here that I wanted to make after having played around with the Samsung Gear VR was that the Note 4 actually started to heat up. It actually got pretty warm. And the reason I know that is because I actually got a warning message inside the VR headset that stated that my Note 4 needed to cool down. It still allowed me to browse and access content, but it wouldn't allow me to play any media. And so my guess is that this is coming from a lot of heavy media watching, which can be understandable, but at the same time it was a little discouraging because it's not very realistic that you're going to sit and watch a 30 to an hour minute show or play a game for 30 minutes if your Note 4 is going to start heating up after about 20 to 30 minutes of use. So not sure where that's coming from. Hopefully they can fix that with some firmware updates to better manage the processor within the Note 4. I do understand it's a lot of data that it's processing, but if it's meant specifically for the Note 4, I would think that it should be able to handle a good hour to 2 hours worth of viewing or playing games. Now, I personally don't have the gamepad accessory to go along with this, so I was not able to test the gamepad experience, but I was able to sample some of the games just visually. They're very immersive, very, very cool, and I can see this going a very long ways with the technology that is built in. And I do think it's pretty creative that they were able to utilize the Note 4 screen in conjunction with this headset to give yourself a virtual reality experience. The other thing that I'll mention is that you do want to make sure that before you place the Note 4 inside the headset that you've cleaned your screen off. So the Note 4 of course just goes right in there. I highly recommend that you do wipe off, clean off, use a microfiber cloth or something to clean the screen of your Note 4 off before placing it inside of the headset, because you will see those little dust particles on your screen and it'll feel like you got a screen in front of a screen. So the cleaner your screen is, the better your experience is going to be. The other thing that I was not expecting that I was very impressed with was the 3D content. You can enjoy a 3D experience inside the headset. So as an example, one of the settings is inside of a theater. You can play a movie or a trailer, and if it's formatted in 3D, you'll actually see it and experience in 3D inside your headset. I wasn't expecting that, but it was a very cool experience indeed. So that's my thoughts on the Samsung Gear VR. I highly recommend it. At $200, it's a steal to be able to have this technology, especially if you already own the Note 4. Of course, you do have to have a Note 4. So if you already own it, it's a must. Go out and get one. If you don't have a Note 4, time to get a Note 4 so you can get the Samsung Gear VR and experience that as well. Stay tuned for my other review videos and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of them in the future. Thanks a lot, guys.